Welcome. In this recording, I want to demonstrate how to generate a Word document that will be appropriate for submitting this assignment 3 in our Biostatistics class, the study report. I start here first to point out that there's many things. Even this video will be linked here later. We had used many of these to perform ANOVA to generate some results that could be included in a report. And I point your attention to these three here on reporting, the statistical results here in the APA format, and then here are two that are the same, PDF and Word document. We're now proceeding beyond that to begin to look at a couple of things in here. In this class, we start with an instrument or piece of equipment, an assay, and a biomarker, and we have to validate all three of those as we go through the semester. What we'll start with first is the instrument equipment validation template, so validating our equipment or instrument. And then we'll take a look at the template for the example methods validation. And then finally the study report that's available here as well. So these are here for a couple reasons. We're just going to pull the outlines out basically from the table of contents and create our own report framework. That's all that I want to do in this recording, and then there might be time for me to demonstrate how to capture a graph from Excel and paste it in a table. So that's what we're up to in this recording, and then as your assignment you fill in the text, right? And we will have discussions on that in class. So I have opened in my PDF viewer these three documents. This is the sample report, and then this is the template for the methods validation, and this is the template for the instrument validation. So I'm going to switch to the text selection, and this PDF document is protected, so I'm going to check this one here. Switch, and this one is not protected, and it looks like we can do the copy paste. So I'm just going to be a bit lazy and do the copy and paste. So you do the same thing, except you'd have to type in these identical terms to create the outline in Word for the instrument validation report. So here I've got Word. I want to just position these so I can do a copy paste real easily. What I like to do when I'm starting out with something like this in Word is just create about 3 pages of soft spaces. Excuse me, hard lines. Those are not soft spaces. Soft space is the space bar. Come to the top, and then I hit Control Enter to do a hard page. This puts me on page 2 of 5. So my page 1 is there for a title page. This is going to be my table of contents. So we come to the Insert tab. Excuse me, I did that before. References tab, and we insert a table of contents. So we can hit the down arrow head and save. I'm going to choose the one that's automatic, and it says a table of contents. It's based upon heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. It gives me this information. You can read it over if you wish. Pause the video if you want to look at it, if you can read it well enough, or just do this in Word. You'll see what's going to happen as we go along. So I put the table of contents in there first. There's nothing for it to list, so it's giving us that information. So I'm going to go to the next page. I'm coming back to Home, and you can see the styles here. And remember, our table layout, our table of contents layout was based upon heading 1, heading 2. Then if we put in a heading 2, it'll list heading 3. It knows what we're trying to add. So that's the style that we need to use to be consistent with this with this table of contents. So then I come back over here to my source document. I hit Control C to copy that Word introduction. You can type it if you want. As I said, I'm just being kind of lazy. Hit the return a couple times, a couple of hard returns. Come back here to heading 1, and that would be our purpose. We can note that I can select these two, and if I want to, I can create the same type of, do they have it there for the Roman numerals? It would be this. Might have to define a new one if we wanted to set it up as just the Roman numerals. Is that it? That's it there, right? I need to fix it here. Notice when I selected it, it turned gray there. And the numbering, I can come in to set the numbering value to 1. Then I have to come back up here to table of contents and click this to unnumber it. Okay, hopefully you can follow that. So now I have the Roman numerals if you want to do it that way. So here again, put in what we had to do is this way worked earlier. Control C, copy that, paste it on the end here, hit enter. So if you want to have the Roman numerals in there, that would be the way to do it. Get our results in discussion, put it here, hit enter. Yeah, you're saying it should be just easy to type these. I guess it would, but this shows you. If there's something a little more complicated and we might not be familiar with it. All right, I'm a select copy paste guy. So you just continue on through. Well, I only have a couple more, so let me do them. Okay, then it'll be figures. And the template shows us this additional information. Okay, so what we've done is we've set up the same thing, the introduction, the purpose, the experimental. We could, if we wanted them in our table of contents, we could put them in here. So linearity is under experimental. So experimental, hit enter, hit the tab. I thought that was the style that we selected. Wasn't that it? Okay, there we go. It's going to be an uppercase A, but yeah, so here it's reagents. Why isn't it? It should be following. Microsoft Word is making me look bad. Okay, so again, if we put any text there and type, then it's going to do it. And then standards, and then instrumentation. So that worked all right. Oh, linearity was under here. Okay. See, they didn't follow a standard outline in here. We would have to have an A, reagents, and then if we had another entry, we hit it here and we indent, then it's going to go to a 1. So it's kind of a problem when you change the outline. You'd have to do a manual thing here in Word. But that's okay, not a big deal. So now let's come back up to our table of contents and click on it, and we see update table, and there we are. So it even has these in here, and it has automatically puts the page numbers in there. When you start putting information in there, putting them on their own pages or whatever. So they're out on more pages. I'm just trying to get these spread around onto separate pages. Note that it does not automatically update the table of contents, so you have to update, and now it just says, oh, numbers only. I haven't changed anything. If I'd edited anything in the headings, then I would update the entire table, but now I just do the pages. So before finally saving and submitting your report, you would want to update like that. So this would be the same approach. What I'm recommending is using 3 separate Word documents. One for the method validation we just did, one for the instrument or can I get the third one? Oh, there it is. Or the equipment validation, and then the final study report. So I recommend doing 3 separate files because, quite honestly, I don't know what would happen if you did an addendum at the end. You might have to work with Word to create sections and chapters or whatever it would need to be. So you could have 3 functional table of contents in one document. Anyway, what we can do at this point, I had not saved it yet, and I'll just save it right there. It doesn't matter where it is. You put it in your folder and give it the right name. What I want to do is now file save as a PDF to demonstrate that this is navigable. So if I want to go to protocols, I click there, and did it take me to the right place? Okay, let's do results. Results and discussion, that one worked. So now before trying to copy and paste a graph or something like that in a table, let me just show you maybe here after purpose you would want to navigate back to the table of contents. Then under references it would be a cross-reference, and it is not showing my table of contents. Heading. That's interesting. Okay, I guess if we had left the table of contents numbered, but let me just say we want to go from here to the results and discussion. So we would put it here. I'm just frustrated now that I can't. So we're going to put in the paragraph text. Where do we want to go? I'll just do the page number. Anyway, you can make those selections to be a little more specific about it. So I inserted it, so I'm not going to close. Here in Word, when you hover over that now, it says Control-click, or Control-click, yeah, and it'll take you to that part. Now if we save it again as a PDF, yes, overwrite. And go to my table of contents. I forgot where I put that now. Hey. Results and discussion. Where was it? Right here. So now that's an active link, and it takes me to the results and discussion. So we'd modify it so it'd be the text so we know where we're going. But anyway, that's how you can make your document navigable from the table of contents to a location. And I guess if we had left this numbered, or if we went in there and numbered it now, we'd be able to refer back to it, so you can navigate from the table of contents to a location, back to the table of contents, and then if it's critical within any other area, say instrumentation, you may need to refer back to something in the introduction or the purpose or whatever. You can put those navigable links in there. I wouldn't put too many, but back and forth to the table of contents, at least on each page, would be a helpful way of doing that. Okay, now let's just going to go back to an earlier assignment where we did the calibrations. So this is calibrations. Remember, we're pretending that we're validating our instrument at this point. So I'm going to get the calibration. Open that. And so remember, what we have from this is a table Remember, this is the instrument, so we just want the calibration data as a table. You would put numbers in here, and then it would create your graph and things like that. So